Hello, welcome back. The objective of this video is balance redox equation. Redox here is represent reduction and also oxidation. And redox reaction can either happen in acidic medium, which normally represent by the symbol H+, or basic medium, at where the symbol will be OH negative. Okay, reduction and oxidation can be discussed in terms of changes in oxygen, number of hydrogen, oxidation number, and also electron transfer. Okay, so basically I will focus on oxidation only because reduction is the opposite side of oxidation. So oxidation means the substance gain oxygen, or the substance lose hydrogen, or the substance increase its oxidation number, or the substance lose electron. So for this lose electron, maybe we can remember one terms oil rate. Okay, at where this O is represent oxidation, while this L is represent loss of electron. R, yes, it is represent reduction, while the G is represent gain electron. Even there are a few methods to identify whether the substance undergo reduction or oxidation. But normally when we want to balancing the equation, we will check the oxidation number. Okay, so for example, in this case, aluminium is 0. And then become Al2O3, which is positive 3. So oxidation number increase, so the process is oxidation. While another Fe in this case is positive 3, then as the product side, it is only have Fe, iron, which means the oxidation number is 0. At where we notice oxidation number decrease, so substance Fe in this case is undergo reduction. Species which undergo reduction is known as oxidizing agent, while species undergo oxidation will be known as reducing agent. Okay, balancing redox equation is more interesting compared to balancing chemical equation because there are few steps to be followed. Let's check the step. First step, you are going to separate the equation into two half equation. One is represent oxidation process and the other one represent reduction process. Second, you will balance all the other elements except hydrogen and oxygen. So after balance all other elements, then you have to balance oxygen first. Okay, when you balance oxygen, you have to adding H2O. Step number 4, after balance oxygen, then you can able balance hydrogen using the H+. Step number 5, you will going to balance the charge by adding electrons. Number 6, you will balance the electrons by multiplying with a suitable factor. And then last, you will total up the two half equation. Okay, so these are the 7 steps. Okay, you are advised to pause this video and then try to recall again these 7 steps before we go into the example. Okay, let's say now we are going to balance this redox equation. Step number 1, separate to two half equation. So basically we will know that Fe will be paired with Fe3 plus, while Cr2O72 negative will pair with Cr3 plus. Okay, so we already done for the first step. So next we are going to continue with the second step, atoms except or other than oxygen and hydrogen. We don't want to balance these two, yeah? Okay, so for the Fe2 plus, means that we are balanced with the Fe3 plus. Have one Fe, here also have one Fe, so nothing to be balanced. Next, second half equation, Cr2O72 negative, so we have to balance Cr2 first. So here have 2 Cr, so I will put 2 in front of Cr3 plus. Okay, so just balance chromium, no need balance oxygen and hydrogen. So in this case, we have oxygen, so we no need to balance in step number 2. Okay, then next we go to step number 3. Now it's time to balance oxygen by adding H2O. So again, in the Fe2 plus to Fe3 plus, there is no oxygen, so we no need to balance it. But at the chromite ion, we have chromate ion to chromium ion. So here we notice there is 7 oxygen. So I have to adding H2O. But if I only add 1 H2O, there is only 1 oxygen. From the formula here, there is 7 oxygen. So that is why we need to put 7 in front of the H2O. Okay, before we continue to step number 4, let's recall step 1 up to step 3 first. Step number 1, we always have to two half equation. Step number 2, we have to balance element except hydrogen and oxygen. Step number 3, we balance hydrogen by adding H2O. So now when we want to balance hydrogen, we need to balance H+. So for example, in the case of Fe2 plus to Fe3 plus, there is no need to do this. While for the chromate ion to chromium ion, then because here we have 7 H2O, 7 times 2 is 14, so we will add 14H plus at the left hand side. Step 5, we are balance the charge by adding electron at more positive side. Okay, now let's check. Fe2 plus to Fe3 plus. Without the electron here, the oxidation number for the Fe2 plus is positive 2, Fe3 plus is positive 3. So just now we say positive 2 and positive 3. Positive 3 is more positive. So we have to add electron. How many electron is needed? We have no idea. So we put a X here, which is an unknown. So by doing like mathematics, X will equal to positive 2 minus 3, which is equal to negative 1. So when it is negative 1, means that we need to add 1 electron. So at here, we will plus 1 electron. Okay, while another side, another half equation, for the chromate ion to chromium ion, so 2 negative, so negative 2. Positive multiply with 14, so here 3 plus multiply with 2, so is this one. 7 multiply with 0 is this one. So now we total up the number here is positive 12 equal to positive 6. So positive 12 and positive 6, positive 12 is more positive. So like doing mathematics, x will equal to negative positive 6 minus 12 equal to negative 6. So if negative 6 means that we are going to add 6 electron at this side. Okay. Second last step is step number 6. We are going to balance the electron at both equations. Due to step number 5, half equation of Fe only involve one electron. So, but the second half equation is involve 6 electrons. So the first equation we have to times 6. And then second equation we just maintain. Then from here we can see 6 electron and 6 more of electron can be cancelled out. After we cancel out and then we sum up, last step we sum up the two half equation. For all the reactor we gather at one side, Fe2 plus, chromate ion, H plus at the reactant side. While at the product side we have Fe3 plus, we have chromium ion and also water. So these are the 7 steps that you need to go through when you want to balance the redox equation in acidic medium. Okay, before we discuss balance basic medium, let's recall the step in balance acidic medium. First, two half equation. Second, balance element except hydrogen and oxygen. Step number 3, balance oxygen by adding H2O. Step 4, balance hydrogen by adding H+. Step number 5, balance charge by adding electron at more positive side. Number 6, make sure both sides have similar number of electron. Both half equation has similar number of electron. Step number 7, cancel out electron and combine the reactant and products. Okay, in balancing redox equation in basic medium, there is up to 10 steps. No worry. Step number 1 up to step number 7 is similar step in acidic medium. Okay, so means that you only need to add on another 3 steps at where this time because it is basic medium, we need to add on hydroxide ion OH negative at both sides. Okay, at both sides. And then combine H plus and OH negative to form H2O. And then last, simplify the equation by cancel out the H2O. Okay, we are using the same redox equation to balance the redox equation in basic medium. So like what we recall just now, for basic medium there is 10 steps, but step 1 until step 7 are similar with acidic medium. So this is the equation, redox equation up to acidic medium. So basically, if you look at your redox equation and notice there is H plus in the equation, so it is represent acidic medium. So now we continue with step 8, at where we need to add OH negative, okay, at both sides. Since here we have 14 H plus, so means that we have to add 14 OH negative at both sides. Okay, so you see here 14 OH negative and 14 OH negative. Okay, step number 9, we need to combine the H plus and OH negative become H2O. So here you will see there is 14 H2O. Okay, next one, last step, we're going to simplify the equation by cancel out H2O. So you will notice at here, left hand side, we have reactant side, we have 14 H2O, while at the product side, we have 7 H2O. So due to different side, so we cancel out this 7 H2O, and here only left 7 H2O. So this is the last part of the question. We only left H2O at the left hand side and only 7 more. So the difference between acidic medium and basic medium now at the end very general. Just now we emphasize for acidic medium you can see there is H plus. While for the basic medium you will going to see there is OH negative in the equation. Okay, let's look at the tutorial question 2e. So when you look at the question, you are given a redox equation and then ask you to balance in the acidic medium. So recall back step number 1, we are going to separate to two half equation. So MnO4 negative with Mn2 plus, C2O4 2 negative with CO2. Okay, then we continue with step 2. Okay, so in this example, I'm going to finish first half equation and then only I follow by the second half equation. So after get two half equation, next step we are going to balance manganese. But because of here have 1 and then here also have 1, so means that we can skip step number 2 because they are same. Okay, so step number 3, we are balance oxygen by adding H2O. Okay, 4 oxygen here, so we add 4 H2O. Step number 4, balance hydrogen by adding H plus. Okay, 4 times 2, 8, so we adding 8H plus. Step number 5, balance the charge. Negative 1 plus 8 equal to positive 2 plus 0. So it's very obvious that this side is more positive. So x will equal to positive 2 minus 7 at where is equal to negative 5. So that's why here we add on 5 more of electron. Next one, we are going to look at the second half equation here. So first step, we already have half equation. Step number 2, we balance other element except hydrogen and oxygen. In this case, we have to balance carbon. So we put 2 more here. Okay, step number 3, we have to balance oxygen. But when we check with this oxygen, 2 times 2 equal to 4. So here is 4. So that means we can skip step 3. Okay, so there is no hydrogen, so we also can skip step 4. Then now we go to step number 5. When we have step number 5, here is negative 2 equal to 0 plus x. So 0 is more positive, so we're going to put x at here. So x will equal to negative 2. So that's why here we add the 2 electron at the right hand side. So basically at step number 5, you can double check whether your half equation is correct or no. So for the first half equation, the electron is adding at the left hand side, while for the second half equation, the electron is adding at the right hand side. When the electron is adding at the both sides, basically they should be not a much problem. So then we can continue to step number 6, at where we are going to multiply the equation. Okay, because here have 5 electron and then here have Here have 5 electron, and then here we have 2 electron. So for the first half equation, we're going times with, multiply with 2. Then I will get 2MnO4, 16H plus, 10 electron, 2Mn2 plus, and 8H2O. While for the second half equation, because of multiplying, here have 2 electrons, so we have to multiply with 5. So 5C2O4, 10CO2, and 10 electron. Okay, when this two half equation is up to step number 6, then we can continue with step number 7. Before we can combine, basically we are going to cancel out the electron, 10 electron at the left hand side and 10 electron at the right hand side. Then now we combine the two half equation. This is step number 7. Before we end this question, again we will see there is a H plus in the equation, which means this redox equation is balanced in acidic medium. Okay, let's continue with question number 2F. Look at this question, we have only one reactant with 2 products. Normally we have 2 reactants and 2 products. No worry, step number 1, we're still able to split this equation into 2 half equation like this. So this is step 1. So then now we proceed to step 2, at where we need to balance the phosphorus by adding 4 in front here. So step number 3, we are going to balance oxygen. 3 oxygen multiplied by 4, so add in the 12H2O. Step number 4, we are going to balance H plus. 12 times 2, 24 minus 4. So we are going to add in 20H plus. Step number 5, we are going to balance the charge. The charge for phosphorus 0, water 0, 4 times negative 2 plus 20 times positive 1. So very obvious, right hand side is more positive, so we plus x here. So x will equal to negative 12. That is why here we add on 12 electrons. Okay, after finish for the first half equation, now we are going proceed to second half equation. So second half equation, step number 1, we have first half, we have equation. Step number 2, we're going to balance others element. Phosphorus here 4, so here we also add on 4 in front of the pH3. And then step number 3, we are going to balance oxygen. But in this second half equation, there is no oxygen. So we can proceed to step number 4. So 3 times 4 is 12. So that's why here balance H by adding 12H plus. Next, going to step number 5 at where we need to balance the charge. So charge for here is 0 plus 12 times positive 1 equal to 4 times 0. Again, left hand side is more positive, so I will put x here. So x equal to negative 12. This is why in second half equation, we also add 12 electron at the equation. So then now we notice that 12 electron for the first half equation is at the right hand side, while second half equation is at the left hand side. Means that both these half electron can be cancelled out. At the same time, at this moment now here we notice that 20H plus is at the right hand side, while this one 12H plus is at the left hand side. So for this one we can cancel out, and here left 8H plus. So now we can combine both half equation. P4 plus P4. So that's why here we have 2P4. 12H2O and then we produce 4HPO3 2 negative. After cancel out the H plus, now we left only 8H plus, and then another product here is 4PH3. So if the question asks us to do balance the redox equation in acidic medium, so this is the final answer. But when we check with the question, this question wants us to do in basic medium. Okay, so again, acidic medium, we can see there is H plus in the equation. So now we will continue to the part of the basic medium. Okay, we continue with balance the redox equation at basic. So this one is the equation at step number 7. Okay, so next for step number 8, we are going to add OH negative at both sides. Why is 8 OH negative, not 2 or 4 or 5? It's because of at the equation here we have 8H plus. So if we have 8H plus means that we have to add 8 OH negative at both sides. Okay, step number 9, we are going to combine the OH negative with the H plus and also OH negative, these two to combine to form 8H2O. Okay, then step number 10, we are going to cancel out or combine the H2O. So at the step number 9 here, we have 12H2O at the reactant side, while at the product side, we have 8H2O. So because of the H2O is at different side, means that we have to cancel out them. So after cancel out 8H2O, here we only left 4H2O. The others will be remain. So this is the final answer for the redox equation in basic medium. So you will see at the end of the answer here, we only can see OH negative, but there is no H plus because OH negative is represent basic medium. Okay, after go through few example with me, so I think now is the time that you're going to learn to balance the redox equation yourself. Okay, so here have 5 exercises here. So just would like to highlight question number 1. Even though at the end here they are not mentioned is acidic medium or basic medium. But when you check at the equation given here, you notice there is H plus. So indirectly means that you have to balance this redox equation in acidic medium. Okay, so if you look at question 2 until question 5, you are not able to see any H plus or OH negative in the equation. Means that in the question they will let us know whether you need to balance in acidic or basic medium. So again, when you check with question number 5, there is one reactant with 2 products, which is similar with the previous example. So means that these 2 half equation will be Cl2 produce ClO4 minus, and another half equation is Cl2 produce Cl negative. Okay, so I hope this guideline can help you to try it out yourself how to balance the redox equation. It is very important that you remember the steps, then it will be easier for you to do the balancing redox equation. Okay, that's all for this video. Thank you.